Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
My name is Jack Siddell. Today I'm dressed as Jay, and I want to welcome you all to Limitless Cosplay. Cosplay your way to self-love. Today's topic, if you have read our description, basically what we're doing is we're talking about our experiences within cosplay as it pertains to going viral, online bullying, just the day-to-day things that cosplayers do, because what is it? It's madness, if nothing else. So we're going to talk about that. Before we get started, though, I'd like to mention that this is a safe zone. So if you don't like something you hear for whatever reason, you're welcome to leave. If you are intolerant of other people and their opinions, I may ask you to leave. If you are offended by something or just feel like the conversation's going in the wrong way, feel free to raise a peace sign and I will take note of that. We are a self-policing community. And that's what we really are trying to do today, is build a community and a support system so that if anything ever happens to you or anyone you know you're not alone in this, that everyone deals with the same bad stuff that happens because of bad people. And I know that just from looking around and from feeling the energy off of all of you guys, that you guys are all very positive and good people. And it's people like you that make cosplay that much fun. So before we get started, I'd like to introduce our panelists and give them an opportunity to introduce themselves. And I have this beautiful Brandon the Shapeshifter as Maleficent. So if you want to talk for a minute.
Hello, everybody.
Say hi.
My name is Brandon, the Shapeshifter. I started cosplay back in 2012. I actually started because my friend tried to drag me to an anime convention, and I said, "What is that? I don't want to go to that." She's like, "Oh, just come." And I said, "Okay." And ever since then, I was hooked. So, and I'm called the Shapeshifter because I usually do multiple costumes. And it can be sometimes like very costly, but I don't care. And but I have a good time, and I do a lot of gender bends because I feel like I noticed that a lot of girls do gender bends. So why can't guys do the same thing? So but we'll talk more about that as we go along. And I'm also a correspondent for the Angry Geek Show. And this is my partner, Louis Perry, right there. He's awesome. I love him. Love him. Oh, there's Jeremy right there. I love him too.
Messed up. That's it. Party foul.
Welcome, new additions.
Christian, that's not you.
Yes, that's
Christian, I love you. Okay, all right, and here you go.
Okay, and next we have Sasha Ballz, also known as the TARDIS Princess or Sci-Fi Princess. And Sasha?
Hello. I guess my cosplay started in like 2012, and like my dress blew up, and I was all over Instagram and all over Tumblr, and it was an interesting, weird time, but I don't know. We all love what we do, and
It's Arkham calling.
the princess is speaking.
A friendly reminder to silence all cell phones. Thank you.
But we all love what we do. So, I mean, it's a gray area when it comes to people taking pictures of you, and we'll definitely get into that later. But yeah, I'm glad about I'm happy about the turnout.
Oh, is it my turn yet?
Yes, do you need an introduction, sir?
So you guys might have already heard my wonderful voice. I'm Remy. I go by Jack Napier Cosplay. I typically do the Clown Prince of Crime. Everyone loves and knows. But I am a part of Boston's Arkham Asylum. I started with a bunch of my friends. I have actually two of them sitting in the audience. They're Black and White Penguin and Black and White Two-Face. I have about 8 other villains that are at this con today. We're doing the costume contest later if you guys want to look. I started cosplaying back in 2007, 2008. I have just been doing Joker ever since then. I have such a soft spot for Joker, just like Barbara. But anyways, I love this community. I got into it because a lot of people, they welcomed me. My first, convention was AB, and I didn't even have a costume on. I just did a bunch of cool matching clothing and stuff, and people were like, "I love your costume." I was just like, "Wow, this isn't what I expected." And then I seen a bunch of people doing their favorite fandoms and stuff, and I was just like, "Cool, let's get into it." So I got into it, and I did "Hi people, how are you? This is Sasha. This is Brandon. I am Remy. This is Jax." No, don't be sorry. We love you. It's cool. You put smiles on our faces. Anyways, I have been doing this for a long time. I've had a lot of friends that I've made. I've done countless things. I've done from charity events to everything, and it's just amazing. I don't want to take up too much time because I'm the clown, and I tend to, make that at the center. See?
So now I've just made the decision to pull up the tape.
Okay.
Because it's just tape.
It's just tape.
Really. So the next thing I wanted to get into was why we all choose to cosplay. Me personally, cosplay was something that I just stumbled upon when I started going to conventions to see people that I admired and loved, like authors and artists. And I wanted to be a part of this amazing fantasy that I saw in the hallways at the conventions. And I started dressing up, and I'm bad at cosplay in that I don't always choose characters that actually exist. So right now I am a character that people know, but a lot of the times I will take multiple characters and slam them all together and expect people to be able to understand what I'm trying to interpret. But I love cosplay for the reason that you can basically be anything you want to be no matter what it is. And you can be it in public and people aren't like, "Oh, what are you doing?" Like, it's cosplay. I can wear this here. It's okay. It makes it like Halloween's every day when you're at a convention. It's a lot more forgiving than when you're on the streets and people are looking at you because you're the only one who's dressed up in a pink wig, So, Brandon, why do you cosplay?
So when I started cosplay 3 years ago, I had a really bad breakup with my ex-boyfriend. He was a complete a-hole, and I remember being really, really depressed. And at that same time, my friend said, "Why don't you come to Anime Boston?" And I said, ever since then, I feel like it's cosplay was kind of like my saving grace. I felt like it pulled me out of that that darkness that I once was in, and getting all the support that I have from my peers and all the support and love and compliments that I get, it just makes me feel good. And I like to be able to transform and be able to. Plus, I love Halloween. That's my favorite holiday. But I love transforming. I love doing justice to a character. I love it when people appreciate the character and people when they recognize the character. And it's just, I just love it. And I feel like at first I wanted to be a singer for a long time, but then I was like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. So because I was very lost. And then I started doing cosplay. I said I kind of have a direction where I want to go in life as far as doing costume design. So, and doing also, I want to start doing short films eventually with Lewis. I love you. And just, I just think that cosplay is something that really helped me. Oh, Jeremy too. I love you too, Jeremy.
Let's save the shout outs for the end of this panel, please.
But yeah, that's why I cosplay. It's just like-minded people and just being able to be in costume, because being in costume is so much fun, and just having fun, That's all. So what about you?
So I guess I started doing cosplay. Well, actually, Jax got me into cosplay first off. We've been friends ever since.
Yes. So Sasha is my friend, and I would go to these conventions and I would do this stuff. And I said, hey, why don't you come? And she said, okay. And she brought me her prom dress. And that's how everything started for Sasha.
Yeah.
And you hated, I'm sorry,
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry I'm talking for you, but I know this is how our relationship functions. So Sasha hated her prom dress very much, and she wanted to do something better with it. And she wanted to turn it into a Dalek dress. And a Dalek is a cool Doctor Who villain. Yeah. But I was like, Sasha, it's blue. Why don't you make a TARDIS? And she said, oh, okay. And then we found this flap on the dress, and we unhooked everything, and she opened it up. And I was like, and that could be your door. And her face was like, oh my God. And from there, we began building this dress. And then Sasha wore the dress. And if you don't know who Sasha is, that's okay. But this dress was, one photographer in particular took a photo of this dress and posted it onto Tumblr. It began to be retumbled, reblogged repeatedly until it was ridiculous. And then BBC America picked it up, and ThinkGeek, and if you know what Doctor Who and the TARDIS is, it's a TARDIS ball gown, and when you open up the front panel where we consider the door, there's a painting of the interior of the TARDIS, and it's a perspective painting, so when she opens it, it's bigger on the inside, even though she's wearing it with a tiara that lights up. She's not really a ship, but she likes making dresses of ships. That's her thing.
Sorry for being obnoxious. So yeah, I basically got into cosplay with that. It was really weird because it was my first costume that became huge all at once, and it was just overwhelming and
very lucky for her first cosplay to be something that was so popular.
Well, it just got really overwhelming, and then there was a whole bunch of internet nonsense, and I think we'll get into that later. But after that, I kind of just really enjoyed cosplaying as transforming princesses into ships. So that was kind of just something interesting. I'm not a girly girl in real life, so being a princess in cosplay is just kind of my niche.
Yeah, so in the idea of self-identity and cosplay, there is no better way to describe Sasha than to say that she is a
tomboy.
No, that she is a car and a princess in one, but in the sci-fi world, it becomes a spaceship and a princess in one, and that's most of what her costumes are her personality, because she's a huge car fanatic.
I am a transformer.
Yeah. So
Sci-fi transformer.
You should put that on the list.
All right, I'll put it on the list.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Here you go.
Oh, my turn again.
Why do you cosplay?
Why do I cosplay? Oh, hi. Hi guys. How are we? Okay, so all right, so why I cosplay? It puts smiles on people's faces. That's pun not really intended either. I have done so many things for people. I wanted to be an actor as a kid. I watched Jim Carrey all the time. The Mask, Ace Ventura, like all that stuff, and I was just like, wow, I want to do that. And I was just all about cartoons, and the best way all my friends describe me is a living cartoon character. And I'm like, all right, yeah, cool. So yeah. And I love Disney and all that. So, well, hi, pal, it's Mickey Mouse. Like, yeah, embarrassing. Anyways, hi, pal. So, wow, I almost talked even more, and yeah. So, but no, it really puts smiles on people's faces, and that's really what I like to do. Again, pun not intended. I really like putting smiles on faces. I like making people's days a lot better. I've helped a lot of people out of really dark places in their life just by walking by and going, "Oh my goodness, kiddo, you look wonderful," and actually meaning it. I made so many videos of, just trying to pick people up. It's a really hard world out there when, you dress as something you care about the most and everyone looks at you a little differently. I'm not a big fan of sports or anything, but, they put their face on and all that stuff too. But they have the right to, bash on people. But you know what? It's a thing that when people don't understand what you're doing, they kind of like get a little nervous about that, So I thought maybe I can help people, and I just put more and more smiles on faces. I made a video for a kid, and I guess his parents was telling me that he hasn't smiled in a very long time. He's suffering from a little thing of autism, and I made a video for him for his birthday. And he watches that video every day. I actually saw the mother yesterday, and for a year straight, he watched that video every day because he believed that he spoiled Joker's plans, and he did. But I love making people laugh. I love making people smile, and I hope you guys like to cosplay too and keep going.
Yeah. So I only met Remy recently, and he was an addition to our panel because we had a time conflict. And the entire time I've known Remy, he has done nothing but make me smile. So he has a gift. And so from that, thank you. We are moving on to the once you do cosplay, you make your costume, you go out, you're out in public. What happens? So people want to take your picture. And that's okay. You want to share that with them and whatnot. There's ideas of what are they using this picture for, and you have to be careful. Some people choose not to take pictures. Some people are very specific with their cosplay. I think the people on this panel are pretty open with photos in general. But again, it's per cosplayer and their preference. So when you do approach a cosplayer, please be sure to be polite and be aware of what their preferences are. But then let's talk about what people do with these pictures afterwards. Sometimes they keep them for themselves. They share them online. They share them with their friends, and you might never see them, but then maybe things get tagged or people know people, and you start to see yourself in people you've never met, albums online or, on Tumblr. And, so now these pictures are out there, and everyone's seeing them, and everyone's having an opinion, because that's what the internet is. Whether it's good, bad, useless, everyone has to write something into the box. And it's a good rule in life to just think about everything before you press send. And in the case of the TARDIS Princess, there were some comments which were made post hastily, and they were not the nicest of comments. And Sasha had worked very hard on her dress, and to hear such things about a friend, or even if it wasn't a friend, about a person in general, it doesn't make you feel very good. So people are sharing this picture with Sasha, telling her, hey, look, you're on this blog, you're on this page, look at this, isn't this cool? Yeah, it's cool until you read the comments, And so I just wanted Sasha to be able to talk about how maybe it made her feel to see negative things. Because I know everyone's experienced this at some point, you know, and it sucks.
Pressure is on. So, I see children, so I can't say what I'm going to say. But
Yes, this is a family-friendly event, so all our panelists are going to be on best behavior.
Yeah, right. Everyone has an opinion, and they're entitled to it. But I just kind of go by a rule of if you can't say it to someone's face, or you wouldn't say it to someone's face, don't type it. Yeah, when I initially read the comments, they kind of hurt, but you know, you think about it, and do I like the stuff that they're into? No, I think it's stupid. Okay, would I say to them? No, but whatever. People don't always have that kind of, you know, brain power, to say the least.
Yeah, Sasha definitely took a very strong approach to the whole thing because I was shocked to read some of the comments. But the other thing that happened on the flip side was as the negativity did flow through the internet, a positive wave also went through of people's, and I don't recommend screenshotting.
Okay, so a positive wave went through the internet, but it came to a point where
It made it worse.
yeah, it made it worse, where people were attacking those who had said negative things about
Yes.
me. And again, if you're not going to say it to someone's face, why would you say it? Just leave it be the bigger person. And I'm so grateful for people, you know, coming to defend me or to, you know, help someone out who would be super hurt about it. But we also have to remember that, you know, the internet is the internet, and
Yeah.
what is said on there doesn't. It's a very, very dark place.
Yeah, so the internet is fun and it's dangerous, and everyone needs to be aware of that, which I think you guys are because you're all old enough to understand that. But yeah, so it was nice that there was a positive wave of people showing support for Sasha, but screen grabbing with names is not the answer, because then what it did was it had people who, with good intentions, go back and troll the people who had said bad things, to the point where they were then approaching Sasha, apologizing, asking for her to publicly
Fix it.
state that they had apologized so that people would stop harassing them. So harassment is never the answer to combat hate. I guess that's the answer to that. I want Remy and Brandon to talk about maybe experiences with photos that might have been negative on the internet. If they have any, you don't have to. Or it also could have been a negative in-person experience. It could be a video.
All right, so the video that I, this was last year at AB. I did a video with Nerd Caliber, and it was a great video. Me and my Harley, she couldn't make it to the panel right now. We did a video, you know, a little interview. I was in character, and she was trying as hard as she could to be in character. Not everyone can, you know, be in character or be in front of a camera or speak publicly. Some people get shy. Some people can't do that, you know. And so we did, you know, our best and stuff like that. I worked with her. She worked with me. And we have over, I think, 78,000 views from that. I didn't think it was going to blow up like that. It was awesome. Everyone was watching it and stuff like that. And again, as they said, the internet can't be a dark place, and everyone has their own opinion, and people like to voice their opinion all the time. So what happened was we had several people saying, you know, hurtful things. And the way that I look at it is I was brought up sticks and stones. They break my bones, but names will never hurt me. Well, you know what? Everyone's entitled to opinion. I just brushed it off. I had someone saying, he doesn't sound like the Joker. And you know what? Sorry, I didn't create the Joker. I'm not your Jerry Robinson. I'm not Bob Kane. I'm not any of them. I did not create the Joker. Some people said, that's not how Joker looks. I prefer this cosplayer over this cosplayer. It's not what it's about. I didn't try copying anyone. I didn't try cosplaying a certain Joker or anything. I was just trying to be a classic Joker. And I was just like, well, you know what? If that's your cup of tea, that's your cup of tea, because it's not mine. I'm a coffee drinker, not a tea drinker. Anyways, so, but the way that I look at it is, you get these videos, you get these photos taken of you and stuff like that, and you enjoy them and stuff like that. And, everyone has a consent to these photos and stuff like that and whatever. But once they're on the internet, it's free game. You have to accept it with that. And, someone might not like what you look like. But then you got to think about it this way. Did you do it for them? Or did you do it for yourself? Are you doing it to put a smile on the person in the mirror's face? Or are you doing it to be like, I need your recognition. Please give me recognition. Please. I need it. Please. No. Do what you want. If someone wants a video of you, if you don't want to, just kindly, decline. Photos, same deal. But the video that, we had, there was just a bunch of mixed things. People said some ruthless things. And I actually had a couple of friends of mine went back to them, and they said some pretty crazy stuff. And I said, you know what, dude, you can't put out a fire with fire. So you're just going to make it bigger. You just got to be the bigger person. You got to be the bigger human being and just be like, you know what? You're entitled to an opinion. Cool. That's cool. Have a great day. And you know what? The way that I look at things is I say to everyone with my Joker cosplay and everything, I always say, keep on smiling. That's about it. Here you go, Brandon.
Look, all I have to say is these cyber gangsters, because that's what they call them, cyber gangsters. Now, I think what people tend to not understand is make-believe. This is all in fun. Make-believe. This is not real. And
I'm not really a drug dealer.
I'm not a real fairy who can do magic and these are not real horns. And it's like
We're all frauds.
I wish I could. I have, since I've been doing cosplay, I've had an enormous amount of support and love, and people's saying, oh my God, I love your costumes, which is great. I've had a couple of people who are bold, and I was about to fight some people. There was a couple of times because the things that people will say is outrageous. Now, I haven't had any experiences from the internet, but people saying something about me on the internet. I've seen my pictures floating around a couple of times, and people had, some nice things to say. But the things I've heard in person, oh my God! Just this past Halloween, I actually debuted my cosplay Dazzler, and I'm doing that tomorrow. And it's interesting because you never really, because you can see the uncomfortableness in some people's faces. Ew, he looks very androgynous. No, I don't. I am dressed as a man. I'm a man, but because you're so close-minded and narrow that you just people don't see left or right. They see what they want to see.
Yeah, a man can't wear a sparkly
Thank you.
jumpsuit and
But
a
it's funny
blonde
though.
afro.
No, but it's funny though because it's when a girl does it, oh, that's sexy. Oh, that's funny. Oh, blah, 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 blah. But when I do it, it's wrong. And it's I remember as I was Dazzler, there were these protesters out there, these religious protesters, because they always, every year for Halloween, they want to protest Halloween, whatever, they're corny. And this one guy, as I was walking, he goes and says, and look at that homosexual right there. Look at that. I was like, you don't know me. You do not know me. So it's my costumes has nothing to do with my sexuality. But because of the fact that you're so ignorant, you sit there, you can't tell the difference. He's like, oh, look at that homosexual right there. He wants to be a woman. No, I don't want to be a woman. I'm very aware that I'm a man. I was born a man. I love being a man. I wear boy clothes. I wear boy shoes. I am a man. You know what I'm saying? My costume, don't let the costume fool you. I will lay you out right now, okay? Because I will. I will lay you out.
Thank you.
It's just...
That's a good transition, too.
Don't let the costume fool you. It's just, I I think that unfortunately, when you in the real world, like we are gonna. There are jerks out there. There are people out there who are nasty and miserable and mean and just like who just want to sit there and they want to do everything they can to bring you down because they're miserable. Well, you're not gonna, because you can't touch me because like that's the song MC Hammer. It's like you can't because it's like I know that I'm very secure. It took a lifetime to get where I'm at, to be comfortable for who I am, and I'm not gonna let anybody take that away from me. Because even like with Maleficent, like and I've gotten a lot of love for doing Maleficent, but there was this one guy in Salem. He had approached me. He said, "So like, are you a guy?" I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "So you're saying you have a penis between your legs?" I said, "Get out my face. Get out my face before I cut yours off." Okay, because like seriously, because you're really pissing me. Like, people are bold.
Things you don't say to people you don't know.
You don't know, and it's like they think that because the fact that you're in a costume, it's my right to say this to you.
Right.
I can say whatever I want to. No, you can't say whatever you want to me because, for all you know, in my cloak, I could have pulled out a gun and shot you in the face. And you're saying you don't know that. I don't, but I don't condone violence. I don't condone
we
violence.
don't condone violence.
I don't condone violence. But there are crazy people out there. There are crazy people out there, and it's like I believe that everyone, like Jeremy, I believe that everyone has a right to express themselves, just like how those religious people out there with their picket signs and saying how we're all gonna go to hell and all this stuff like that for dressed up in a costume. They feel like it's their right to say what they feel. Why can't I dress up in a costume to say how I feel? Why? Because you're right and I'm wrong? No, you're not right and I'm not wrong. Because there's nothing wrong with being who you are.
Right.
And that's something that I refuse to walk in fear. And that's something that I had to learn a long time, especially coming out. I had to learn that a long time ago. Like, when I was a kid, I was so miserable and I was so afraid because people went out their way to call me a faggot, call me a fruity, call me this, call me that. And why? Because I don't fit the stereotype of what a boy should be. And it's like, I'm more of a man that you'll ever be, and I'm more of a woman that you'll ever have. So it's like, don't you ever tell me. Don't tell me that I'm less of a man because of your
more of a person.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a person.
Yeah.
I'm an entertainer. I'm a good person.
Yes. So
and
yeah, so Brandon brings up the good point of seeing a cosplayer and making assumptions. Now, I know everyone here is a progressive con goer and does not do these things, but these things happen. And they even happen in a town like Salem, where you would anticipate that people of all different shapes and sizes would dress up as anything. So the first time Sasha and I debuted this Jay and Silent Bob, we did it in Salem. And I would never have been the wiser if it wasn't for the fact that I had a friend who has friends in Salem who saw in his Facebook feed this guy calling out these two dykes at the bar dressed as Jay and Silent Bob.
I'm sorry, can I just point out, Jay and Silent Bob, who are they? Hetero left mates?
Yeah, so to see Jay and Silent Bob, who happened to be women dressed as Jay and Silent Bob, and to call them as dykes was just like the worst thing, it's not the worst thing ever, but it is bad because it's not right. First off, he apologized and he said he should have said lesbians.
Face palm, yes, face palm.
Which he understood that the word dyke was not a nice word, but then it moved forward and we had to explain that sexual orientation, identity, preference does not come into play when you see a person in costume. I myself identify as a bisexual, gender fluid person, and the reason that I wanted to bring up this whole panel and sexuality in general is also because of cosplay, many parts of who I am and always who I've known myself to be have been able to come out more prevalent and more publicly than ever before. So now when I dress more butch or whatever, it's not scary for me. and it's because of what cosplay has done in my life. So I love dressing like a man.
It is so comfortable.
Yeah, and there's pockets.
Oh, my
There's
God.
Lots of pockets.
My God.
And yeah, so I am an anatomical man right now, and I love it. So I don't know how to segue from that. I didn't think that far.
So
Okay.
speaking from a princess point of view, dressing like a man, very comfortable. Super comfortable.
Yeah, so that's the other thing. Sasha is a tomboy, and she uses the TARDIS Princess as her time to be like pretty and regal, and I have to do everything for her when she's dressed as the princess. So it just like, it sucks for me, but she loves it. And this is not something she would normally have anticipated if she didn't have cosplay in her life. Do you guys have any experiences with cosplay bringing out a part of your personality you didn't understand until you started doing this?
It's actually interesting that you said that
I'm going to
because
give you a timer, though, on it, okay?
I'll be quick. So they say like my friend Scott, he always says that like when I do Maleficent, there's something about Maleficent that I'm able to channel. Maybe it's like my inner diva. I don't know what it is, but like be quiet. I definitely am like, I get into this, like, into the character so easily, like, you know, and it's like, it's so much fun, and she's so devious, and she's so, like, you know, powerful, and she's so badass, like, you know, so it's like, and it's not about femininity or masculinity, it's just about the personality, you know what I'm saying? It's about her power, and it's about her triumphs, and about even her struggles, and it's just like, and even her as a powerful magical person, she's misunderstood, and I always felt like I was misunderstood a lot. So that's why a lot of times when I do Maleficent, I think that it comes out so easily, like, you know, especially when I'm doing, like, you know, different video and stuff like that, or whatever case might be. It's just, I love it. So yeah. What about you guys?
I believe most characters in anime and cosplay are just misunderstood in general, and that's why we feel, you know, so related to them. Like,
Kindred spirits.
Yeah,
We find
yeah,
our spirit character.
you
and we
relate to
become
one
it.
of them, and you want to show the world what you've created or how you feel, and
what you
it's-
love.
Yeah, and what you love, and
Yeah.
it's liberating. But then for someone to take that and, you know, say negative things about it,
Yeah.
it hurts. But at the same time,
Yeah.
c'est la vie.
So what do we do when we have these negative? What can we do as a community?
Beat him with a crowbar?
We could beat them with a crowbar. That's option one. You know, the number one thing is for us to be united together. So when we see other cosplayers, when we see it,
How's Bob?
I wasn't listening.
Put a smile on their face.
Smile, yeah. Put a smile on their face.
You gotta make him laugh!
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, there's gonna be bad people in the world. We wanna stay positive in adversity. We want to stay together. We want to help each other. If you see someone and their body language is reading uncomfortable as you watch a cosplayer and someone else exchange whatever, feel free to go up and say, "Hi, I'm so and so," you know, and just start another conversation. Because even, you know, they'll be able to give you the body language of no, we're fine, go away, and you'll still have made a friend. But if it is a bad situation, that person will most likely turn to you and start a conversation with you in order to help them with that other person. And these are just like, you know, regular life interaction skills. But it works with cosplay.
That's a perfect example of someone I know very, very well. Right, Ivy? So she was at Rhode Island Comic Con last year with another good friend of mine, Frank. He does Mad Hatter. And they saw me. And she always kept seeing me and going, "Oh my God, that's him, that's him, that's him, that's him." And me being me, I like to listen to everything around me because I've heard a lot of people say negative things about me before, like, "Oh, he can't do the laugh," and I go, and then they're like, "Oh my God, he can, no." So she was kind of like, oh my God, that's him, oh my God. And I heard that, and as I walk around, I was like, I worked at a haunted house, I know how to do this. So I walked all the way around, right behind it, and I went, hey, kiddo. Pew! Gone. It was like singing something out of Scooby-Doo. And from that point on, I mean, we did one video together, and it was Frank, he does film and stuff. He made a video. It was like a cosplay music video, and it's funny because a couple of months later, I was the closest friend I've ever been with them, and they've joined my Arkham. And out of nowhere, they're like speaking, they're saying something. I'm like, where did that dialogue come from? It sounds so fun. And they memorized my dialogue almost, well, actually by heart. And they said that you've helped me become a better cosplayer. And it's like, dude, all I did was say, hey, kiddo. That's all it took. So when you see someone that's, bummed out in a corner feeling, exactly, you just go up to them. I'm not saying go, hey, kiddo. I'm not saying go up to them going, I'm saying go up to them and be like, oh my goodness, look at you. You look amazing. What's your name? Or, if it's a small child, they're going to look at you and be like, oh, it's really them. Hey, kid's looking at me like I'm actually joking. I'm like, uh-oh. How do I do this? Oh no, Batsy, I just got out. Don't put me back in. And then it's from that point on that they're probably going to be like, I want to keep doing this. Because that's what you want to do. You want to inspire people. You don't want to let people be like, you're so much better than me. Because I've had people get down in the rut. I call it the cos flu. They get down in the rut and they're like, I can't. Come to me and they're like, I don't know what to do. My costume's not as good and blah blah. And I'm like, And I tell them like, you go on the train. Do you travel here? Do you drive in the car with this? Do you do all this? Really? Because you have so much courage to go out in the general public and be ridiculed by some people that don't understand. They go, what are you doing? I did an event with my girlfriend at the Brooklyn Library, actually, and people were just like, what? And I would just, hi! And then from that point on, they were just like, oh, they are normal people. And I go, yeah, we just came back from a charity event. And they're like, oh, well, now I feel like a jerk.
Yeah.
So you gotta just inspire. Just go up to someone and say hi. So hi, a smile.
The nice thing about cosplay is it is an equalizer in all sense of the words, because it doesn't matter if you're just starting in cosplay or you've been in a while. Yeah, there's jerks in cosplay. That happens. But no matter who you are, if you're a cosplayer and you're having fun and you're wearing whatever makes you happy, like, other cosplayers will be happy to see you too, because we don't like doing this alone. We don't do it to be alone. We do it to be a part of something bigger than ourselves. So if you are going to cosplay, use your cosplay to inspire people, do charity work if it's available to you. Just volunteer in general is a good thing to do.
Use your cosplay for good.
Yeah, use your cosplay for good, not evil. But, I mean, we talked a lot of the different topics that we wanted to discuss today. We do have an online Facebook group that you're all welcome to join and share with your friends. Basically, the group is so that before, during, after any con that we're at, you're at, you can report to us about your cosplay stuff, your gender bends that you find that are really cool and crossplays. If someone is having one of those bad cosplay days where they hate everything they do, feel free to shout them out on there and make them feel good about themselves.
Boy Blue.
We are a community and a support group, and when bad things happen, we will make you feel good. We will not attack the people who attacked you, but we will make you feel good because we know that what you're doing is because you're doing it for your love of your fandom, no matter what it is. That being said, I would like to see if my panelists have any final remarks. Otherwise, I'd like to open it up to discussion and questions.
You guys have any final remarks? Because I'm about to go on a tangent.
And now a tangent by Remy.
Okay, so I want to just tell you all look absolutely amazing. I want you guys to give yourself a round of applause, please. Give yourself. You guys
Bravo. This is the best
literally
looking panel.
are amazing. I have people I know in this panel. I've met new faces at this con. I have everything. You guys are absolutely the coolest group of people ever. Like, seriously. You guys come out, you put a lot of craft into your stuff, whether you're not cosplaying now or if you don't cosplay and just come to, appreciate your fandoms. You guys are absolutely the realest MVPs ever. Like, literally the coolest people ever. You're cooler than Victor Freeze, and I know him. So, I got amazing people next to me, too, when you got Sasha that had to deal with all that stuff. She's still smiling. More than me, actually.
She has a very nice smile.
You got Brandon. I've known Brandon for quite the time, and Brandon, every time I see him, oh, I love you. Gotta me, thank me. And Jax, I love you.
Thank you.
You guys are awesome. When I'm out on the con floor, seriously, if you guys ever see me or any of my group,
Say hi.
I got a lot of my group here right now, actually. If you guys see any of us on my group, please raise your hand.
Woo!
Say hello. Actually, stand up. How about this? Stand up. This is
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 of them. 7
all right,
out of 10.
so my other ones, Riddler left for some reason, and Killer Croc is in a swamp somewhere, or Batsy got him.
So let's see if you make it to the end of the con
Oh man.
with 7 villains.
but
There's a lot of bats out there.
There's a lot of bats. Don't let them get in your hair. Oh no. Yeah, he's my baddie. But seriously, when we're out there, guys, you guys put smiles on everyone's faces. Whether you're in character or not, it's cool when you're in character. I say this because if you go to Disney World and you see Mickey, come on, he's not gonna be like, "Hey kid, how's it going?" What? Yeah, he's not gonna be like, "I'm on my break, kid. What do you need?" He's not gonna be like that. You know what I mean? He's actually gonna be. Well, he's not gonna talk to you, but some of them will be like, "Well, hi, kiddo," and all that stuff, and they'll do that, and they'll have a, "Hi guys, come on in." So, you guys look great. How are you? All right, guys, how about this? Say hi.
So, yeah. Hi. So, welcome. Grab a seat. Sit down.
Come on, hurry, step right up. Come take a seat in the Joker's
We're just
Asylum.
getting to the fun part of the day.
This is literally the fun part.
So now I'm also going to remind you guys that we are normal human beings, and if you see us in the convention for the rest of the weekend, feel free to come and say hi. This evening I will be dressed as Disco Dazzler on some roller skates as long as they don't make me take them off. You'll be Dazzler too. We'll both be Dazzler. See, there can be more than one. Sasha, are you Silent Bob for the party? Oh, she's Repo for the party.
Hey.
And are you staying?
So I am going to the after party, hopefully, and I'm going to do more of like a imposter Joker. Okay. So I'm gonna have like some funny makeup and stuff like that.
And
I didn't.
yeah. Oh.
I'm in trouble.
Oh no. Yeah, but you can sneak in. I know how.
You want to know? You'll see my face in there regardless.
Shh, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, see, I'm not gonna talk about it over the microphone.
And then on Sunday, I will be Gilligan. The TARDIS Princess will be in the house tomorrow if you guys want pictures.
Hey yo, and I'm actually gonna be the colored version of me tomorrow.
Colored version.
I'm gonna have like ink dropped onto me and be like, look, purple.
So, that being said, who has a question or comment or
Does anybody have any questions, comments,
words of
concerns,
wisdom,
dance parties?
experience?
I guess I got one. I'll start the conversation.
All right, you, sir.
Yes, thank you. So as we know, over the years, more the kind of geek nerd cosplay community has been more and more. Okay. All right. So over the years, the geek nerd cosplay community, whatever you want to call it, has become more and more accepted in mainstream media. However, that being said, as you pointed out, we are still ridiculed to a certain extent. Again, I wouldn't directly say outright bullied anymore, but ridiculed. In your opinion and in your experience, how do you deal with that in kind of not necessarily spreading the word, but helping people to understand what we do without appearing odd, so to speak?
So the way I see it as they may think we're odd, but actually we're just more interesting than they are.
Because when you're normal, you're boring.
So
you conform.
I work at Microsoft. I work a corporate job on a daily basis. I have colored hair typically, and I wear funky clothes all the time, and people think I'm interesting. And it's hard to get work done when you have to constantly have conversations about being interesting. But so then when they give you the weirdness, it's like they can't see beyond themselves. They can't see beyond that, and they how do you combat it? You turn the other cheek. You let it go, because deep down that the fact that you love Star Wars and can talk about it with anyone at a bar is awesome.
Actually, what you really need to do is read them. No, you need to read them for filth. That's what you need to do. Now, I remember this one guy told me, he said, well, why do you cosplay? It's like, it's a waste of money. I say, well, so is your shoes. Your shoes is a waste of money, and so is your shirt and your pants. And why do you do the things that you do? You have to kind of give it back to them. You need to give it back to them, because when they sit there and criticize you, criticize them. Because it's like, I'm so sick and tired of people thinking that.
Be careful, though. Be careful.
I'm not saying insult them,
mean.
but I'm saying you should definitely put them under a microscope.
You can be argumentative. It's okay to
put
be
them under a microscope, like how they're putting you under a microscope. That's all I'm saying.
Just make sure you're always safe in these discussions you may have with strangers.
I would say try it and put it in their perspective.
Yeah.
You spent $100 on those shoes. I spent $100 on my costume. People who understand why you spent $100 on those shoes will enjoy your shoes. People who understand why I spent $100 on my costume will understand why I spent $100 on my costume. That's honestly, you just have to put it in their perspective.
I found out that there's cons just like ours for people who love cars. And that blew my mind. So it's like different strokes for different folks.
Oh, and I have a friend who does, he goes to conventions for tattoos. So it's there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I just think out of all the conventions, we're probably the best looking because of these costumes.
And I don't sit there and say, ew, you have a tattoo. Ew, that's disgusting. Oh, that's gross. Why you do it to your body? I don't say that. Whatever floats your boat. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, because tattoos are expensive.
They are expensive. They can be expensive, but there's nothing wrong with that, because if that's what he's into, then that's what he's into. If I'm into costumes, you're into tattoos, this person's into dogs or cats, who cares? We all should be able to do what we want. Isn't that right, Jeremy?
Yep. Has anybody here experienced that cosplay has shown them a part of themselves they didn't know existed? Yes? Yeah. Do you want to share what that part of you is?
Okay, so this lovely gentleman is my man.
No evil multiplier.
She drives me up a wall.
So this lovely man. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna say right now, I feel very special that I'm calmly speaking in front of all of you. Let that be known, because I don't like public speaking. But anyway, so this man, I had broken up with an ex who was very much so obsessed with Batman, and when I moved back home, I was like, there's a void. I don't know what it is, so I filled it with Batman. I was like, okay, this is cool, so I started comic book collecting, had my posters. My friend actually introduced me to him, and he was like, oh, he's obsessed with the Joker. You guys should talk. I was like, okay, sure. And literally the first thing he ever said to me was, I have that poster. That's how it started. 3 years later, I have that poster. I never had cosplayed before in my life. I started with Boston Comic Con 2013. And it was my first con, first time I ever made a costume. I saw him at Anime Boston with a friend, and I was like, holy crap, I want to do this. Because everyone was just crowding around and taking all these photos, and I'm like, he's a celebrity right now, and I'm totally dating him. So hold on, I'm not even done yet. So we go to Boston Comic Con. I did morning Harley Quinn because I had black hair and I wasn't wearing a wig, and it was great because nobody does morning Harley, and just the amount of people that were like, oh my God, you look so good, and oh my God, your shoes, because we actually made like boot covers and stuff. Anyway, that was the first con, and I only went for a day, and I was like, I have to keep doing this. I have to. Sure enough, Anime Boston following year, oh my goodness. Did classic Harley Quinn. I did my first interview, which again, I wanted to throw up the entire time it was happening. And then from there, I was actually able to do costume contests and do stuff like this. And I'm not crying, so you know, that's fun. That's really fun.
Harley brings up a good point of cosplay confidence. You can definitely use cosplay as a way to build your self-confidence. It starts off with hiding behind masks and makeup and things of that nature, and eventually turns into you getting ready for an important interview, and the way you put on your clothes is just as specific as if you were building your costume, because you are ready to present yourself to the world and show what you can do and what you can accomplish. So I want you guys all to remember that as you go out into the world and cosplay. Just because we still have time, do we have any other questions before I wrap this up? You do? Okay, we do have questions. Let's do it.
Sorry. So I know you're talking a lot about experiences with cosplay, and everyone's experienced this. And I was wondering if you have any tips about feeling invisible sometimes, because I haven't experienced a lot of this, and I know I do a lot of cosplay for myself, but sometimes I still feel like I don't know what I'm doing, or I don't quite fit into various fandoms, and I'm wondering
Don't take that microphone from her.
it would be good to find, I feel like it'd be good to find
Let me
kind of
ask you a
communities
question.
that I haven't been in.
Why would you want to feel invisible?
I don't want to.
Oh, you don't want to?
I feel invisible, and I'm
Well,
wondering
guess
what
what?
to do with it.
Everyone say hi.
Yeah.
See?
So what?
You are
Where are you?
very
What are you
talented.
dressed as?
I'm dressed as Soy Phone from Bleach.
See? You are not invisible. She noticed you right away. I noticed you. I didn't say anything just yet.
And more people to notice you when you're out on the floor, the way to do that is to be strategic. And you have to not have any extra bags with you, and you'd stand in the middle sometimes, and people will notice you. And photobomb people. Yeah, the other thing is groups are good. If you make other friends in the same genre and fandom, then hanging out together, because groups get noticed. But also just
We should have her stand.
yeah, you should stand. Yeah, you should stand
Stand up, sweetie.
And show us
Showcase
your
that.
costume.
Actually, you know what? Do me a favor. Get
I
in the
know.
middle.
I feel like next time we do
Let's
this,
see
maybe
this.
we should have a parade of
You look wonderful.
outfits. You're
you look
standing
great.
because you know what? We're
We're looking
documenting
at
this, and
You're
I
no
want to know
longer
how long it
visible.
took you to make that. You
It
didn't make
doesn't
it.
matter
So,
if you didn't make it.
oh, okay. So this is a long fandom that you've been
And this is
involved in.
great.
Yeah.
You look great. And you actually had the confidence to stand up and speak.
Yeah. So
There you go.
thank you for coming. Okay.
Catwalk that.
We're not going to put
Question,
everyone
question.
on the spot, but you had a question.
We have another question. Yep.
Yeah, my question was, you were talking about the self-confidence. This is my third con, Rhode Island Comic Con, and I always want to, but I'm a kind of a bigger dude, so I don't know how to get out, because everyone says, oh, go as fat this guy. How do I gain the confidence to go as a Power Ranger, stuff like that?
You know what? You do it, because I'm short. I'm tiny. And I had people saying I'm Gotham's little punchline. And that's how it is.
Yep, I know. 5 minutes. Okay. Well, so there's the first thing of if you love something, just do it.
Just
Don't
do
think
it.
about everyone else. Do what makes you feel comfortable. Just do it. There are definitely ways to look at your body and the shape of the character you're trying to create in order to better accommodate that. So if you have a larger torso, you need to make everything proportionate in order to fill the thing. And that's something we can discuss about privately to talk about your specific goal. And that is a lot of costuming, trickery, and whatnot that I definitely, you guys should all explore. But as far as confidence goes, like, if you can find other people to do it with you, that can help. But ultimately, try it. What I like to do sometimes is I like to go normal clothes, check out an area, go back, change, go out in the costume for like 5-10 minutes, just see how you feel, walk around, see if anyone notices you. They probably won't notice you. You just walk around, get comfortable, and then, like, you know, if you want to change back because you're uncomfortable, change back. But if you can keep going, once you get that first 5 minutes under your belt, it's like the first beer. All the rest of them go quicker. Okay? But it's true. So, like, you know, just try it. You know, do it in the time of day when it's less busy. It makes it you feel more. Do what makes you feel more comfortable. But if you need support, you know, make a buddy system.
I agree. You should definitely have like friends around you. And I definitely, for a long time, people said, you should be black characters. Why? Because I'm black? And it was like, well, you should be Blade. Well, you should be like, oh yeah, I'm black, people. Yes, under this green skin, I'm black. But they say like, well, yeah, you can do whatever you want. Don't ever let anyone tell you otherwise, because we have one life. It's your life. Live it. End of story.
So, kind of going back to what you mentioned about being invisible, it's kind of a tough gig to say one way or the other, because cons are, even though it is our community, they're very tough to work. There's cons like Rhode Island, which are massive. You are one in thousands and thousands of people. And then there's cons like Alternative Con, the smaller cons, where you are it. You are seen because you are part of that small local clique that's there. I could certainly relate myself. A couple years ago when I came out of the military, I was kind of the same way. I was invisible. I was that guy walking around in a geeky Superman. You did see me. I'm the head of, okay, so introduce myself. I'm Terrence Hale. I'm the head of the New England Convention Group. Some of you in here know me. You're all awesome people. But kind of going back to the point at hand, it took me a while before I started to even get noticed. And the one thing that I learned in that process is don't rush it. Take your time, build into the cosplay, and as you do, you'll meet awesome people. I mean, I met the Pharaoh over here at Boston Comic Con. I met Jeremy and Brandon this year at ConnectiCon. And as you meet these people, you'll get better. They'll give you tips. They'll show you where you need to go, and you'll kind of come out into the light, so to speak.
So building on what you just said, when the TARDIS Princess became super huge...
She didn't know anyone. She knew me.
Yeah, I only knew one person. We went to a small little con in Boston.
We go to Aresia. It's a sci-fi fantasy convention.
Yep, tiny little
Highly
convention.
recommend it. It's fan-run, and it's great.
It's awesome. So I only knew one person.
But now
And
she
then-
knows everyone.
The internet blew up, and it seriously became like so overwhelming, and I'm not a person who like wants to be in the spotlight, like so
It takes time, and the other thing is once it happens, like
It
then
happens.
you can't go anywhere without people stopping and talking to you, so it's hard to go to the bathroom. So we're running out of time, but see, that's support right there. And someone else had their hand up, Harley.
I'm gonna say right now, yesterday we did no costume and it was great feeling invisible. We didn't get stopped. Pictures taken.
See, there's a good and bad to everything.
There's literally a plus and negative. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna go out there and we'll probably get stopped for photos. But at the same time, I can't. You know how hard it is to get to a panel? I can't even plan.
Yeah. Yes. And on that, we would like to thank you all for coming to our first ever panel.
Thank you so much.
We are going to, this is Limitless Cosplay. Find us online, and we'll continue to do important conversations like this with more hot button topics and cosplay. And thank you guys. Yeah, we'll be at the after party.